of objectives for retail businesses. These are objectives based on financial performance for the business. This lesson will be about break-even and increasing sales revenue. The learning intention for 1.3 is to be able to suggest different types of financial objectives for retail. This time around we're looking at sales revenue. So first of all we need to know what sales revenue means. Then we're going to be able to describe how to increase sales revenue and then recommend different methods. The vocabulary for today will be break-even, sales revenue, volume discounts and complementary services. The criteria to make sure you've achieved in this lesson is being able to complete the simple calculations on break-even and sales revenue, comparing the positive and negative impact on revenue if you're increasing sales prices, and how a variety of increasing revenue methods can impact on a business. A career focus for this lesson are personnel manager, town centre manager and bookseller. There are 4 tasks for lesson 6, a break-even beginner task, a sales revenue beginner task, then the impact, which is both positive and negative on increasing prices, and the 4th task, which is a bit more involved, is a table for you to complete on the different methods of increasing revenue. Break-even. This is the point at which a business makes neither a profit nor a loss. This financial objective is often used alongside the business objective survival that came from the previous lessons. Break-even is where total revenue equals total cost. If a business produces or sells 1 less good, the business makes a loss. If it produces or sells 1 more, it makes a profit. The break-even point is therefore a very important measure for a business, as it shows how much it needs to produce or sell in order to make a profit. A new retail business will often set break-even as its main objective in the first few years of business. Many retailers will be prepared to make a loss in the first or second year of business in order to build up a customer base. Your first task. A local shop has sold 500 products at £10 each. Doesn't matter what they are. It costs them £4 to make each product. Have they achieved break-even, roughly? Now we can use the calculation above, total revenue equals total cost, which just means you need to work out 2 figures and compare them. So first of all you need to calculate total revenue. You've got to find out how many products were sold and what was the retail price. That gives you total revenue. On the other side of the equal sign you've got to find out how much it cost to make the product and then how many products were made. When you've got your 2 numbers, then you can do the comparison and then you can make a statement of whether they have roughly achieved break-even. Now we have to say roughly because break-even calculation is a little bit more involved than this, but right now that'll do in terms of that calculation. Increasing sales revenue. This financial objective is often used alongside the business objective of increasing market share, previous lessons. Many new and established retailers will focus on increasing sales revenue. Sales revenue is the total value of the products and services sold. This objective concentrates only on revenue and does not consider the costs of increasing sales revenue. If a retailer wants to improve its market share in a competitive market over a period of time, then it will be willing to suffer higher costs in the short term in order to grab a larger part of the market share. An increase in sales revenue can be achieved through selling more products to existing customers, selling products to new customers, or changing prices. Task 2. A supermarket has sold 100 clocks at £10 each. A new housing estate has opened near them. What could they do to increase their sales revenue? Task 3. A local convenience store has decided to raise prices in its store by 5% in order to increase sales revenue. Question 1. Explain how this action may increase its sales revenue. Question 2. Explain how this action may decrease its sales revenue. Yep, that's right, you heard it, decrease. So you've got increase because they're going to raise their prices. But think about how the local people in this local convenience store are going to feel about an increase in prices. Think about things like the reputation and what they're going to think of and maybe go somewhere else. Things like that. So please write 2 extended sentences as your answer to number 2. Task 4. The following methods can be used to increase sales revenue. Your job is to complete the definitions and give examples. So for example, upselling. Upselling is when you go in to, say, buy a mobile phone, and how many times have you come up with accessories and a few more things, and a mobile phone case and an extra charger and maybe Bluetooth speakers. So that's an example of upselling. So your job is, in your own words, to write in what it means, and then in your own words, no copy and pasting, write in how it increases sales revenue, and then you provide your own example, like I've just given you one for upselling, but you come up with your own for upsales, cross-selling, raising prices, volume discounts, you know, when you buy multiple things, frequency of buying discounts. You'd have to work that one out because you're thinking of how often you'd buy a discount or how often a consumer comes to a product to go and get their can of 7-Up, and how often the tins are discounted and what does that mean for the retailer. Bundling products together, holding special events, offering complementary services, something where you potentially can go try it out, or go and go for shopping, but you can sit down and have a coffee, things like that. Expanding your distribution channels. All these things for you to write what it means, how it impacts on sales revenue, and an example. That's it, you've done it. The 4 tasks for lesson 6. The break-even sales revenue, the impact of increasing prices, see it was a positive and a negative impact, and then the methods of increasing sales revenue, which was all the different methods for you to write a definition for.